Hey guys, this is a little screencast about what D2L looks like with reference to the project we're talking about. I only ever do one take, so I'll make lots of mistakes. Feel free to laugh at me. That I'm kind of used to it. Anyway, this is the when you log into Desire to Learn. This is your interface. This is the teacher's homepage. So you have news items here. So usually teachers post logistical information here. So for me, for example, I do one of these screencasts every week so that students know what is expected of them every week. Yeah, and it also walks them through the qualitative side of online learning. That's how I do it. Not all teachers do it that way. The majority do use the news item in varied ways, though. Up here you have your list of courses, so maybe I'll take you to, I don't have a civics one up here, but I'll do an English version one because that'll make more sense, even though French content would be great to standardize our blended learning resources, if that's a direction you guys choose to go in. We have tabs here. This is where we keep all our course content. So every course that we run online, so Civics Careers, will have content built into it from the OERB, the ORB, the Ontario Electronic Learning, Resource, something or other. If you Google OERB, Teacher, Ontario, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, content goes in here, it's loaded into different units, and then we have assessment here, we have a drop box that uses Turnitin to help us evaluate, which you would be able to have access to with your unit. Also, we have a communication page, and I think this is probably the best way to run an e-learning style Dila. And the way that I would do that would be through the discussions. And in this class, I don't have a discussion, an online discussion. We do it through Google Classroom instead. But what you would do is you'd create a new forum, that's like a unit, and then a new topic within the unit. Now your forum would be your Dila project. And then each topic would be divided by maybe the day or however you want to chunk your projects. And students would be able to participate through each part of the topic. One way you might be able to hook students is if you, instead of asking them to write stuff, you let them verbally put information in. So they just create a reply, a response to one of your topics, and then they can just use verbal stuff. It's quicker for them to look at other people's stuff if they do it, if they type it, but more interesting for them if they do it verbally. Before we move any further, I'm just going to show you a version from my, no, sorry, that's the wrong class, from my online. So I just have to protect the privacy of my students, so I can't show you an actual thread, but here, if you take a look at this topic, you'll see the topic, you'll see the activity, you'll see that there are 19 students who have posted separate threads, and then people have had posts to those threads. So what I would recommend is the Dila teacher would start a thread and ask everyone else to chime in on their thread so that you're keeping it neat and tidy throughout the activity, and it works a lot nicer. In this case, these were individual assessments for students. And then yeah, you can go from there, and that's one way of running this thing. You would also be able to create under content your own units where you break down your activities. So for example, this course that I'm teaching has 4 units and a summative. So what you'd probably do is you'd create your own entity, so like your own unit for Dila, and then you can keep all the content in there, and you can link it all through Desire to Learn. The interface takes a little while to get used to from a teaching side, but it's a really good thing to put on the resume that you've created content in D2L. As we have so many courses going towards e-learning these days, it's the one area that is really expanding in Ontario education right now, and it's a good place for Dila to be, and a good place for Dila teachers to learn the skills for teaching online. So that's all the info I have. Please take a look at this and then get back to me with more questions, and I can fill in more for more details that way. Great.